Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today we're taking a look at Super Cyborg on the Nintendo Switch. A retro-styled run-and-gun shooter. It's clearly a love letter to Contra, but can it stand up to its idols, or are you best saving that cash? Well, hit subscribe, join us here on SwitchCorner for reviews and deals near daily, and let's get started. Story here then is relegated to the eShop description, and that's honestly fine. It's a run and gun experience designed to test your reflexes over anything else. To give you a quick idea of the intent though, you are an elite cyborg sent to investigate a series of anomalies on a mysterious island. Basically, this alien life form has been awakened by some scientist. Now you need to go take them down. There's nothing really in-game as such to explain this, but it sets up the game with a nice array of enemies and horrors, and yeah, do not come here for story, there's really none to find outside of the character designs. Gameplay then is what you should be coming here for, and it's good stuff up front. I didn't have the highest of expectations and it delivered something that absolutely felt retro. It was more than a little bit challenging, but it got the one thing you want in this scenario right, that is, the controls here are responsive, and any death that you may face, that will be your fault and your fault alone. That is going to be down to your ability. The game's controls could not be better. On death as well, you're going to be facing that plenty, I promise you. Even on the easiest difficulty, it can be brutally challenging. Think here though, 1 hit kills, 4 lives, and yeah, if you fail it's going to be game over. Over its influences though, such as Contra, this has checkpoints, whether that's going to be mid-level on some of the longer ones in this 7-level adventure, or at least at the beginning of each. Controls then are simple and move with the left stick or the D-pad. I suggest the latter. Jump with B, shoot with Y, and then charge a special attack of sorts with X. This special, it varies from weapon to weapon, as does the gunfire itself, and these pickups, they can be found occasionally throughout the levels. They fly on screen briefly, you shoot them down, and of course you pick them up. Gunfire here then is a simple case of holding down Y, so you'll spend 99% of your time here with that button held down, because realistically if it moves you gotta kill it. There's no friendlies here, and you can shoot on an 8-directional rotational movement, meaning the D-pad here comes in real useful with that extra accuracy. Likewise, Contra style, you can shoot in all directions while jumping through the air for a maneuver that always feels incredibly satisfying. My favourite element of the controls though, hold down the right trigger, you'll actually stand in the spot shooting. In the early game you'll be running and gunning, but this becomes particularly useful, especially as boss moments at the end of each level appear. While the majority of levels then they are side-scrolling, it even channels a top-down viewpoint for a level later in the game. It was actually entertaining, a nice little throwback. I wouldn't say it's as accomplished as the rest of the experience, but the controls here, they carry over well, and it's a nice change of pace for what is, a relatively short game, though again, given its difficulty, it definitely feels just right. Along the way then, rack up a high score and see what damage you can do, even unlock a hard mode as well after the first completion. Even if I would say here, it was brutal on easy and normal, this will only be for the most dedicated out there. Now outside of the general mechanics then, there's a nice selection of weapons, and some for sure they will be needed. Think here though, from a single rapid gunfire to a widespread on the boss moments, they are epic in scale, often filling the screen in all their pixel glory. You can even play with friends thanks to a local co-op mode that's packed in here as well. Cannot say I personally tried that, it's for sure going to be an acquired style of gameplay, you need the right friend for it given its difficulty, but fans out there, this will absolutely be a welcome addition. The levels then are well designed. We get the occasional branching pathway that provides a different type of challenge, vertical levels, and then the enemy design, sure, it's repetitive patterns in their attacks. You can expect that from the genre, you need to learn them to kind of get through these difficult moments. But yeah, they mix it up from bullets flying all over the place to those that explode to even think frog-like enemies that have a surprising reach. Problems then on vertical levels, you can't jump down. Once the screen moves up, it leads to death instantly, almost like what's below you has become an endless drop. Now this might be fine traditionally, but there's one level later in the game where it demands you actually jump down, and I was actually nervous to do this because in my eyes that kind of contradicts itself. I also wish the game had a better way of tracking high scores. Yes, it gives me that at the end of each level, but through the actual experience itself, I wish there was kind of more of a display, something telling me what was I doing to earn these points. Then the checkpoints, that is a welcome modern addition, do not get me wrong, but it actually leads to an issue. Your lives carry over, so let's say you end a level with 1 life left. I found the easy option in these scenarios was to simply kill myself and then reload into that same new level. Now don't get me wrong, the diehard few out there, they won't want to do that, they'll want to try and get through it with 1 pack of lives, but for the majority of people, it just kind of feels like an easy way out. Those really are though my only issues. Hardcore run and gun fans, this is a super budget option, and gameplay wise, I think it is honestly spot on. Graphically then, this is pixel goodness. The thumbnail, it's definitely weak, and that's why originally I had very little in the way of hope for it going in, but talk about a great looking example of pixel work. It's just packed with variety from level to level, and it's even vibrant as well. The levels, they take you all over the place, and the detail packed in really brings these locations to life. Throw in then the enemy design and some screen filling boss moments, and it's top quality, which was clearly a work of passion for the genre. It even packs in a few options. The screen size can be stretched or normal. You can even add filters, think a CRT filter, or maybe even smooth out those pixel edges. I left it on what was the standards. Problems, I really only kind of have one here. Your lead, the Cyborg, there's a few colour swaps in there, they're fine, but overall I think the character as a lead kind of pretty generic, you know, as they go, if I had to complain. Audio finally, and while there's very little here, it does a good enough job. The weapons sound decent, the explosions, they pack that kind of retro weight, and the music, that is top quality, all of the chiptune you could hope for. And yeah, not a lot else to say honestly on that note for audio. Honestly, it does its job, and it does it with some style. So the final verdict, and Super Cyborg may be the hidden gem that deserves your attention in 2022 so far. For retro fans out there, if you like Contra, you absolutely buy this game. It is brutally difficult, it's gonna kick your ass, and it will absolutely frustrate you, but all in the best possible way. 7 levels may not be a huge amount of gameplay, but when it is this tough, it feels true to its influences, and you will not be disappointed once you reach that end game. Problems then, as I say, like the high score system, it lacks a little bit, and its checkpoint system, you'll exploit it, but again, let's face it, for what is $7 or your regional equivalent, this is a quality game that every retro fan out there should definitely be looking at. With that, a great 8 out of 10 from me today. This is a gem, and it comes highly recommended, and I hope to see a whole lot more from it in the future. I think what I've walked away with from this one is, like, this team, they clearly know what a run and gun experience should be, and they have absolutely delivered. Even if it has a few quirks, give us a sequel now, and this may well be the next series to watch out for. A shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.